Okay, the next thing we're going to cover here is polynomial equations. So this is under the heading of solving other types of equations. So a polynomial equation is a polynomial that's set equal to 0. The total number of solutions, real and complex, to a polynomial equation is equal to the highest exponent. So if it's third power, it'd be 3. Some solutions may repeat. And in fact, that's the fundamental theorem of algebra, by the way. These equations are solved by factoring a sub n x to the n plus a sub n minus 1 x to the n minus 1 plus dot dot dot. So you're going to factor it and set each factor equal to 0 and solve. Or you might use a quadratic formula. For example, if you can get it down to a quadratic, you can use a quadratic formula. So we have a couple of examples we'll look at here. You have 9x cubed minus 4x squared minus 144x plus 64. So I'm going to factor this by grouping 9x squared minus 9x cubed, I apologize. 9x cubed minus 4x squared minus 144x plus 64. So I'm going to group the first two together. Now watch this. See how it says minus here, and that's a plus? If I were to group these together, I'm going to have to change this sign because minus a negative makes it plus like it was originally. So that's the reason that I talked about in an earlier video when I'm factoring by AC technique. I put the negative first and then the positive second, so I wouldn't have this problem. Well, we can't avoid it here. So once I grouped it with this parenthesis here, this plus becomes a minus because this negative here times this negative here gives us that positive there. So just be aware that this sign here changes if you have a negative outside there. Okay, so continuing on with this. Out of the first pair, I can pull an x squared. And I have 9x minus 4. Out of the second pair, I think I could pull out a 16 to give me 9x minus 4. So 9x minus 4 is a repeated factor. Then we have x squared minus 16 equals 0. And the x squared minus 16 is a perfect square. So that'd be 9x minus 4 times x minus 4 times x plus 4 equals 0. So 9x minus 4 equals 0 means 9x equals 4 or x equals 4/9. X minus 4 equals 0 means x equals 4. And x plus 4 equals 0 means x equals negative 4. So those are our three solutions. Notice it was a third power, and there's three solutions. Let's try the same thing with the next one. So I have this 5x cubed. By the way, you can change the arrangement of these because addition is commutative. But I can see a factoring pathway just looking at these. So I group these two together, group these two together. What I'm looking for is there something common to factor there for each of these, and there are. And this is all pluses, so no worry about changing signs. In the first pair, I can factor an x squared out. And I have 5x plus 4. In the second pair, I have, looks like 25 can come out, and I have 5x plus 4. So we have 5x plus 4 times x squared plus 25 equals 0. And so I can take the 5x plus 4 and set it equal to 0. And I get 5x equals negative 4, or x equals negative 4/5. The other part, x squared plus 25, that's a sum of, it's set equal to 0. That is a sum of squares, and we can't factor that with real numbers. I mean, the answer is going to be 5i, negative 5i, but we're only dealing with real numbers so far. So that's our only solution right there. And that's it for this part. The next one we're going to do is solving absolute value equations.